Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Rules and Operations Committee meeting for June 9th, 2025. The time is 10:01. Can the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Councilmember Jensen.
Here.
Councilmember Herrera.
Excused.
Councilmember Hitchen.
Here.
You have 2 members present.
With 2 members, we do have a quorum. I am anticipating Vice Chair Herrera, but we'll announce when he gets here. We have an agenda which is normal order of business where we're approving a lot of the upcoming things. Any changes or corrections to the agenda? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. For the record, Vice Chair Herrera has joined us. Thank you, sir. We have minutes from June 2nd, 2025. Any changes, corrections? Seeing none, the minutes for June 2nd, 2025 are approved. That brings us to proclamation review. Mr. Dominique.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Brian Dominique, your communications manager. Before the committee this morning for scheduling is the Juneteenth National Independence Day Proclamation. This was before the council at last week's Tuesday study session, and there has been no changes to the proclamation since then.
Any questions on this one? I'm just going to ask, can we make the font a little bigger so it takes up the whole page? Just, I don't mind that there's less words. Like sometimes they're really long, but it just, I'm going to pull a middle school's thing and make the font bigger so it looks big. So
I can absolutely do that, Madam Chair.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions on this particular proclamation? Okay. Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Dominique. That brings us to approval of the meeting schedule for June 16th to the 20th. We're going to go to Ms. Long.
All right, thank you and good morning. This is your meeting schedule for June 16th through the 20th. On Monday the 16th, beginning at 10 a.m., you have your Rules and Operations Committee meeting. You'll be approving the meeting schedule for the week of June 23rd through the 27th and the council agendas for June 23rd and June 24th. There are no proposals on that agenda. At 11 a.m. is your regular Monday study session. In addition to your usual items, you do have 4 grants to review. The first is a Puget Sound Energy Grant. This is the PSE Decarbonization Grant. This is brought to you by the Human Services Weatherization. The next 3 are U.S. Department of Transportation grants. These are all Safe Streets and Roads for All, just different streets. So the first one is 200th Street East, Ording, Kapowson Highway East. This is the CRP 5758. The next is 72nd Street East, Vickery Avenue East. This is CRP 5983. And the last is 104th Street East, Golden Given Road East. That's CRP 5905. And then also under other business, you do have a budget check-in. So that's an additional item for you on Monday. At 1:30 on Monday is a Community Development and Environment Committee meeting. You have 3 presentations on your agenda there. First up is the implementation of the joint planning and pre-annexation agreements. That will be with Planning Public Works. Next, you have long-range planning work program implementation status, also with Planning Public Works staff. And the final discussion item is Parks and Recreation and Open Space Plan, your PROS plan, and that will be with Parks and Recreation staff. On Tuesday, June 17th, beginning at 9:30, you have a Health and Human Services Committee meeting. Now, this has been updated slightly from what, if you looked at it earlier. There are 2 proposals on this agenda and 1 discussion item. The first proposal, or actually both of these proposals are pending approval on tomorrow's consent agenda. The first of those is R 2025-166. This is confirming Gary Gant as the Director of the Human Services Department. That has a July 1st final hearing date. And the other proposal is R 2025-169. This is approving expenditures from the Housing and Homeless Fund to renew homeless and housing program contracts approved by resolution R 2024-172, and directing the Human Services Department to report on the final funding and allocation details by July 15th.
And I'm going to pause to my colleagues that are like, hey, that's not on my paperwork in front of you or any member of the public. This was just added, so it's in process. So,
Yeah, this is the one that was added.
thank you.
Did you have a comment on that?
I wouldn't, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, and that has a June 24th final hearing date, so tight timeline on that one.
And that is why.
And then the presentation, our discussion item is Continuum of Care updates. That will be with Cynthia Stewart from Continuum of Care. Also on Tuesday at noon, you have your regular Tuesday study session, your usual agenda items there, and at 3 p.m. is your regular council meeting. On Thursday, June 19th, the office will be closed for the Juneteenth holiday. Just a note that the Wednesday Flood Control Zone District Executive Committee meeting has been canceled for the 18th. And those are your meetings for the week of June 16th through the 20th.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Do we need to say anything when we're approving this about the item that's not on ours, but like it's technically there, we're not seeing it on our paperwork, right?
Yeah, it was just added, so if anybody pulls it up right now, it will be there.
Okay.
But you could mention that, including that proposal.
Yes.
Chair, I have one more addition.
Okay, we're going to go to Mr. Taylor.
Thank you. So, good morning, Hugh Taylor, Chief of Staff. One addition for the Community Development and Environment Committee agenda. This is also one that just went out on Friday for sponsorship. It is the Land Conservation Plan. It will be on tomorrow's consent agenda for introduction. Let me give you the EDS number on it. 1 second.
So it doesn't have like a,
It may have at this point, if it's, okay, it went out for sponsorship on Friday. We'll verify that it's got an ordinance or ordinance number assigned to it at this point in time. But it is the Land Conservation Plan.
okay. So Ms. Long, what would be the best way
So you would
as
want.
amendment?
Yeah, a motion to amend the meeting schedule for June 16th through the 20th to add to the Community Development and Environment Committee meeting the adoption of the Land Conservation Plan. It's a proposal. And that will be pending approval on tomorrow's consent agenda. And then also just to be clear that the meeting schedule also includes R 2025-169 on the Health and Human Services Committee agenda.
Okay. I'm going to look to my vice chair to see if, like, you scribbled down a couple notes. Do you feel like you got it?
Yeah, so we're going to amend it first.
We're going to amend it first and then vote on it. Does that work?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. We'll go to Vice Chair Herrera.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to amend item 6 for the meeting schedule to make sure we add the Land Conservation Plan and R 2025-169.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we amend the meeting schedule to include the Land Conservation Plan to Community Development and R 2025-169 to Health and Human Services. Any further discussion on amending? Okay, all those in favor of this amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so now we're going to move to approve
That's amended.
as amended.
Yep. And Chair, I'd like to approve the meeting schedule for the week of June 16th through 20th, 2025 as amended.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the meeting schedule for the week of June 16th to the 20th as amended. Any further discussion or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, staff. I know there's a lot going on as we're getting ready to kind of do a little bit of a slowdown here, which always crunches stuff on both sides. So Ms. Long for item number 7, which is the council agenda for June 17th.
All right, thank you. This is your regular council meeting agenda for June 17th. We'll start with your consent agenda, and you do have a few items for introduction and scheduling. You have 2 ordinances. First of those is 2025-517. This is amending section 256050 of the code entitled Board of Directors. This is to update provisions related to board membership on the Economic Development Corporation of Pierce County. And this has a July 1st final hearing date. The other ordinance is O 2025-518. I'm going to jump back. That's also for referral to rules, the first ordinance, so forgot to mention that. Next is O 2025-518. This is related to right-of-way franchises for public and private utilities, amending sections 1232.040 related to the term of the grant and 1232.070 related to franchise fees and setting an effective date. You'll be referring this one to rules and setting the final for July 1st as well. You have one resolution for introduction and scheduling, and that's R 2025-167. This is confirming Joshua Dykeman as Director of the Planning and Public Works Department. And this is for referral to EIDC, and you'll be setting the final on this for July 1st. Under final action, you have one resolution, and that's R 2025-165. This is confirming the appointment of a new member to the Pierce County Human Services Citizens Advisory Board. And then under D, you'll see the 4 grants that I just reviewed earlier, the one Puget Sound Energy grant and the 3 U.S. Department of Transportation grants there. Those, of course, are pending your review at the previous day's study session. Moving to section 7, proclamations. You have 2 on this agenda. First is designating June 19th as Juneteenth, National Independence Day in Pierce County. And that was requested by council members Ayala, Denson, and Yambe. And the other proclamation is designating June 2025 as Cancer Survivors Month in Pierce County. And that was requested by council member Hitchin. Under section 8, resolutions, you have 3 items. The first is R 2025-153. This is approving the 2025 update to the Americans with Disabilities Act transition plan for public rights of way. And this will be heard in EIDC tomorrow, and we'll add the recommendation to your agenda. Number 2 is R 2025-157. This is authorizing Human Services Department to reallocate 2024-2025 behavioral health and therapeutic courts funding approved under resolutions R 2024-207 and R 2023-122. This received a due pass at Health and Human Services on June 3rd. And the third resolution is R 2025-164. This is confirming the reappointment of 2 existing members to the Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs.
It's in the correct place. Ms. Long, for pre-rules, Erasmo Ruiz has chosen not to do this, so
Yeah,
put it
we'll
in the
have the
norm.
motion, gotcha. So we'll have the motion to accept the withdrawal on the one and then approve confirming the other. So I'm with you on this.
Yeah,
Got
which
it.
is why it's in the normal
Threw me
order
for a
of
minute,
business,
but
because
I
we are going to
remembered.
be
Yeah.
amending, so it can't be on consent.
Yeah. All right. There are no ordinances on this agenda, so those are your items for the June 17th council meeting.
Any questions on the council agenda? So the Cancer Survivors Proclamation will be before rules. Do you want to brief on this?
Good morning again, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Brian Dominique, your communications manager. So the proclamation that is on the June 17th, the June 17th council agenda for Cancer Survivors Month, that is a rush proclamation job, which means we're consolidating from 4 weeks to 2 weeks. And we achieve that by having the Rules and Operations Committee schedule it the day before it gets read. So we're going a little bit backwards. So the council will see this proclamation on Tuesday, tomorrow at its Tuesday study session, and then it'll be before this committee on the next Rules and Operations Committee.
So eyes on it carefully when we see it tomorrow, because we will not have a lot of time to edit. I read it, and I don't think there's any issues. It's just we want to do our process, and we're trying to do this as quickly as possible as we move forward. Any other questions on the council agendas for the 17th? Okay, seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
And we're just approving it straight up. Okay, Chair, I move to approve the council agenda for June 17th, 2025.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the council agenda for June 17th, 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. We are at other business. Is there any other business before us this morning? Seeing no other business, we are adjourned. Have a wonderful day.